Alright guys, so in today's episode, I'm going to talk about finishing up these miter joints. So when we started off, if you check out another video that I've got posted there, I was using this Instabond, and so that's a two-part, kind of like crazy glue, but it's got an activator on it, and that allowed me to get really tight miter joints. So we're going to try to take this to the next level. So to do that, we're going to use a product that's not so typical probably in finished carpentry and more typical in the auto body industry. So this is a glazing putty. So this is kind of like Bondo, but it's a sort of a softer, easier to sand version of Bondo. So Bondo, typically you'd think of a Bondo or like I guess that's the brand name, but auto body filler as being a little bit thicker, or you're able to put it on a little thicker and it's a little harder. Glazing putty is kind of for that finishing step. So after you've done your body filler and that sort of thing, or you're just trying to fill in small scratches, your auto body shop would then switch to a glazing putty. And so it's still a two-part mix, just like you would for your body filler or your typical Bondo, but it's easy to sand. And so once I sand down this miter joint, then I'm going to mix up a little bit of putty, and then we'll apply that, let that dry, and then sand that. And I think that should give us an absolutely perfect, flawless finish throughout this miter joint. So you see when I was sanding there, I was kind of sanding in on an edge and not flat. Now in this step I didn't want to try to get it flat. I was just trying to get off that glue edge and get this miter area sort of down just a little bit. When I come back with the putty knife, I'll make this flat, and then when I do my finish sanding, I'll come in with the sander really flat, and then this will all be a continuous flat surface with a little bit of the glazing putty here covering up the joint. So after sanding here, it's ready for paint, and you see here with the results, you don't see that line where that miter is at all. Now there's other ways that you can go about doing this, but I found this one quite useful, and I think the fact that you'll have that harder product right there in that joint will mean that over time that does not separate. You do need to be careful when you are sanding, because that putty that you put in is significantly harder than the MDF that's around it. So if you've got a really soft pad that you're sanding with, there is a chance that you remove more material off the MDF than you do off of the glazing putty. So you just got to keep that in mind as you're doing your sanding, but really happy with the results, and stay tuned for the next video, and we'll catch you in the next one.